Hey guys, Micah from blackbearcustomkydex. I have a very interesting video for you today on a sheath that I just made for an Ontario Rat-1. And so you guys are probably all familiar with my auto deploy design with the locking mechanism, and you've probably seen me pair it with a variety of other things, like sometimes it's a flashlight or a multi-tool or a fixed blade or a holster or something, something like that. So this time it is a locking auto deploy sheath for the Ontario Rat-1, but it is attached to a large Altoids tin. So let me show you what this looks like. This one is going to Kevin, and he had asked for flat black with Cryptek Raid as the accent color and the lock. So that's what we got here. Now he wanted it to be a cross draw auto deploy. So this is the first time I've done it as an outside the waistband holster. I've done some cross draws on a tether, on a static tether, and they work really, really well. This does not work quite as well, and the reason is because part of the reason that the blade opens is because the momentum of you keeping this rotation going helps to flick that blade out entirely. So you want to sort of keep rotating this way. This is obviously a very difficult thing to do. So I don't personally like this. I don't personally recommend it, but it does work. And I think, there's definitely a case to be made for a reverse grip auto deploy in this kind of configuration. I think maybe would be a bit smarter, something similar, but me not being left-handed, I'm not going to slice my stomach open on camera for you. But anyway, part of the reason why I don't like this is because the awkward angle that it causes my wrist to go at to get this to function. The other part of it is because I feel like the motion that I'm doing just lends itself to me maybe nicking my my wrist or maybe my stomach or something like that. I'm not totally comfortable with it. So as with anything, you need to practice. So Kevin, when you get this, brother, please spend some time with it. Really perfect the draw and be ready if you ever actually have to use this. Be ready to use it effectively and efficiently, because the positioning, I think, just does lend itself toward being a little bit wonky. So, all right, that said, I'm going to demonstrate for you real quick. So it's locked right now. It's darn difficult to open that up. It can definitely be done with a certain amount of pressure. You can overcome the lock, but it's there as a pretty solid security measure to prevent it from getting knocked loose or just grabbed off your hip, something like that. And you also notice that this has a lot of travel on my belt, the tech lock that it's riding on. That's because this particular belt is not does not match up with the standard settings on the tech lock. So to make my personal belt work with a tech lock, I actually have to fix another piece inside there to help pinch the belt really strong. Most belts work just fine. This belt just doesn't. So anyway, all right, so you unlock it by simply clicking, just push that accent piece away, and then when you draw it out of there, I'm going to brace it with my left hand just to keep it from traveling on my belt. But when you draw it out of there, you really need to pull it away from your body some and give it a good flick like that. So you can see I messed up the first time, got it the second time. So it's just not very comfortable for me, but it definitely works. I'm literally 50-50 on it right now with success. But you can see for sure that the angle that I got to orient my body at is very awkward, and I'm having a tendency of wanting it to be tilted down further, but he specifically wanted it to be kind of canted upward at an angle. So I don't think it's a terrible idea or anything. I just think it requires, maybe some getting used to, some practice, and see? So please practice. I'm very deeply concerned that something could go horribly wrong with this. So I would feel a lot better about this being out there in the world if I know the owner is going to really spend some time. I almost used the term shedding. For those of you musicians out there, you know what I'm talking about. I'm a musician. That's my background. I'm a jazz musician. We use the term shedding, like to go to the woodshed and practice. Yeah, man, spend some time shedding. Shedding your auto deploy. Practice, practice, practice. Drill with this thing. I really don't want anything to go wrong with it. So, all right. Now that all said, I'm going to take this off and show you a little bit closer up what is going on with it. So, okay. So to keep it from really sticking out too far, I put a slight curve in it. You can see that there. I just wanted to make sure that, you know, it wasn't leaving some part of this sticking wildly out from your body and getting snagged on stuff. So I think that aspect of it is good. The Altoids tin holder has a good two-way draw. It's nice and secure. I don't know what he intends on putting in the tin. I assume that this is kind of, you know, standard. The standard thing to do would be to like use it as like a tinder tin or something like that, but maybe he's got other designs. But I put a little extra retention on it, so it's a smooth draw. It comes out smoothly. It's just got some resistance on it. So, you know, if you do need that adjusted, just get in touch with me, brother. I'll show you how to adjust it. I'll explain it. It's very easy to do. But right now it's got very, I would say, strong retention to keep that in there. Just in case you're planning on carrying something heavy, I don't want it to slip out and fall. Okay. The other part of this that's important to show you is that I have actually drilled this out for all 9 holes of the tech lock. So what that allows you to do is achieve quite a few different positions with the knife. So if you do decide like, hey, this isn't working out, I really want it to be on my right side and draw down, kind of my standard setup, then you'll have the ability to do that. And you can orient this clip a number of different ways, or this the sheath on that grid a number of different ways. So I think if you end up deciding you want to orient it that way, I would say take these top 3 rivets, the ones that are being used right now, and switch them up and use them through the top 3, you know, this L up here, closest to the top. Yeah, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Orient it up and put that over here. I think that is the, if I'm not mistaken, that's the angle that will result in a good, whatever my standard setup, whatever you'd call that. But, you know, it'll essentially orient the knife like so on your right side. And from there, you do have, you do have the natural angle to flick the wrist and make this work. And it's not in such a dangerous spot on your body, and doesn't require, you know, sweeping across your body. So if you're in a crowded spot, it's not as, I feel like it's not as dangerous to the people around you. So in any event, I know I sound like I've been naysaying the design. I'm not. I promise. I'm not bad-mouthing it. I'm not bad-mouthing the concept. I think this is a really cool concept. I just think that it has higher potential for things to go wrong. So requires practice. That is my disclaimer. Requires practice. So, all right, guys. If you like this sheath, if you like this video, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of this thing. Let me know what you think of the Rat-1. This thing is a legendary folder, I would say. It comes in just tons and tons of different blade steels, and there's always limited editions and this, that, the other. So I really like the knife, especially if this one's an AUS 8. I hate AUS 8, but I actually really like this knife even in AUS 8. So anyway, let me know what you think of combining an auto deploy sheath with another item. I think this is a cool concept. It can get a little bit bulky. This one is pretty big overall, but that's just the nature of it. This is about as compact as it can possibly get without becoming, you know, super wide because of overlapping or some such issue. So anyway, let me know what you think of it. Share it with all your buddies, and I appreciate you sticking around. Tune in for the next one, guys. God bless.